This is a 500-point game of a clan binary versus Inner Sphere shenanigans. The Inner Sphere have 4 aerospace fighters, 4 artillery thumpers, 4 hover tanks, 2 battle armor, and 4 battle mechs, with an average skill of like 3 probably. Yeah. The binary is also average skill 3. We are not using special command abilities. We are using formation bonuses, and that is all. So here's what the battlefield looks like. We've got an Arctic Cheetah, a Summoner, a Timberwolf, a Stormcrow, a Warhawk, a Ebon Jaguar, a Nova, and a Fire Moth. These are 2 Beagle hover tanks.
Yes.
We have a Dervish, a Whitworth, a Trebuchet, a Catapult, some battle armor.
Cadre battle armor?
Cadre battle armor. I said that wrong. Cadre, okay. That is a Phoenix Hawk, a Raven, more Cadre battle armor, a Jenner, a Spider, more hover tanks. And I forgot to mention that my pair of Nagas are 8 inches off of the table, where his artillery thumpers are 72 inches off the table. The Arctic Cheetah did a very miserable job of positioning and tagged hovercraft to be destroyed, while there was another hovercraft he should have shot at. The Summoner got narked by a Raven who he swapped fire with, but he is causing the Raven to leave. The Spider, what's the word? Spotted for indirect fire shenanigans back there to nuke a Dasher and finish off the Mad Cat, who took a whole bunch of fire last turn. The airplanes came in and decided that much hate had to be delivered to this wonderful Mad Cat, and the Mad Cat suffered much damage because of it. The Ryokan decided to break a more hover transport things. Beagle hover tanks. The Cauldronborn didn't shoot this turn. The Masakari missed. The Nova missed, and then. Yeah, bad stuff for the Clanners. This is looking great for the Inner Sphere at the moment. The Clanners are down 2 mechs, where the Inner Sphere are down 1 airplane because it's running, 2 hover tanks, and 1 batch of infantry. All right, this was the beginning of, what is this, turn 6 or something? I don't remember. Artillery fire from 3 turns ago is landing this turn. 1 shell tried to land here between my 2 mechs, but scattered 12 inches this way. 4 other rounds tried to land here. 1 round scattered, and the other 2 hit their points. So the Thumpers have not earned their points yet. The Ryokan, Nova, and Ebon Jaguar, which are all energy boats, decided to shoot at some fighters and wreak havoc, because the fighters really tried to mess up this Ryokan and did a very good job, but left him naked instead of dead. Because fighters fight from the front arc of ground units, regardless of where they come in from. Let's see. There was a tank back here that died mercilessly to the Warhawk. And for this round, the Arctic Cheetah is MVP for tagging the Phoenix Hawk, who received 8 Arrow 4 missiles, 4 from last turn and 4 from this turn, because the Nagas moved forward this turn to be within 30 inches of their intended point of impact. The Spider and Jump Infantry, along with the Jenner and the Indirect Fire Party, are what is left. Oh, and 1 set of hover tanks. They are what is left. The Raven and Phoenix Hawk died splashing around in the puddles. And the Summoner is still narked because it does not go away. After you get narked, it stays there. The Cauldronborn is overheating by 3. Everybody else is running cool. Hey there, game fans. It's Drew Baca again. This is the second attempt at actually posting a video. This video was actually made before the first video I posted. However, there's a whole bunch of things going on in this game, and this was our first attempt at artillery. To start off with, this was ruled a clan victory because the inner sphere only had a Jenner, a Spider, a Whitworth, and a Beagle tank left. Everything else was destroyed in the following turn. Clanners only lost 2 mechs out of their binary, so that was a pretty solid win for Clan. Couple things to take note of. An ECM will cancel Narc along with a bunch of other things if it's within the bubble. Didn't come up this game because nobody else shot at the Summoner after he was narked, but he was standing next to the Arctic Cheetah who has an ECM. Artillery distance from the table is super duper important. It kind of determines a great deal of your travel time. Because if you're within 30 inches of your target, it hits the turn you shoot it. If it's between 30 and like 90, it's 2 turns, and if it's beyond 90, then it's 3 turns, and there's a whole bunch of other things going on in there. But there's a table to figure out which parts go where and how long things take to actually get to the table, or the point of impact. Next thing, Arrow 4. It requires not only someone to tag a target, which is a normal to hit roll, except it doesn't count as a normal attack. It's an extra free attack, because you're pointing a laser pointer or something, but you actually have to touch the unit you're trying to hit. But Arrow 4 requires you to tag something and make an unmodified 4 or better roll on 2d6 to actually have the missiles hit the target. Aerospace combat. So here's how this works. Hopefully I don't screw this up for you. There's a couple things that have to happen. There's a control roll. You roll 2d6 and you add your target number is your skill plus 2 if you're in the atmosphere. If you succeed your control roll, you're not getting tailed. If your opponent fails and you succeed, you are tailing your opponent. If you fail and your opponent succeeds, you're being tailed. If you're tailing an aircraft, it's a -2 for you to hit them. But if you both succeed or you both fail, neither of you are tailing the other one. So you don't have a -2 to hit the other guy. Next part is an engagement roll, which is based off the control roll. Whether you succeeded or you failed, you're going to take whatever you rolled plus either half your thrust on a success or a quarter of your thrust on a fail. Then you compare those two numbers, and then whoever has the higher result determines the range for that combat. And at the end of the round, if you took damage, you have to make another control roll. If you fail the control roll, you fall 1 level closer to the central zone. If you fall while in the central zone, then you crash because you hit the ground. Shooting at aerospace fighters with not energy. If the defender has point defense, then some of the damage you do isn't actually going to get through. But point defense only works once per turn. So if you have PNT 1, you can negate 1 point of damage from a not laser boat shooter once during that turn. If you have PNT 2, then you can negate 2 points of damage from a not energy boat. Energy boats go, nope, can't stop my lasers, but everybody else is shooting missiles and other things at you, so you can kind of mitigate some of that damage. The next part goes back to artillery. Artillery units can make their special artillery attack in addition to a regular attack, whether that is physical or it is a weapon attack. So the Nagas I brought this game could have been on the table shooting their artillery and making short or medium or physical attacks during the course of the game. So I should have brought them on. The way that we were playing them was, it made sense in a realistic point of view. They were off the table, moving around, moving at different distances, but I'm not sure we actually did that right. My plan was eventually to have them step onto the table as my binary advanced, or we lost my tagging spotters, or I lost more mechs than I wanted to, but that didn't happen this game, so they stayed off the board. I apologize for all the name switching between the Inner Sphere names and the clan names for the clan mechs. I know all the names for the mechs for both the Inner Sphere and the clan, and I switch them around all the time. Sorry for those of you that bothers. Something we did not do by the book for this game was fighter entry. We just kind of picked a spot on the abstract map because I didn't look at it right. But we just kind of picked a spot on the map. We both started at that same distance from the central zone, and we advanced from there. So his fighters still got to the board faster than mine did because his fighters were faster, but they got there faster than they were supposed to. And mine definitely got there faster than they were supposed to. But we agreed with it prior to the game. We're like, hey, cool, we got close fighter support as opposed to they're coming in from farther away, so we just kind of rolled with it. It's not technically what you're supposed to do, but that's what we did. Bombing attacks always happen at short range, while striking and strafing can happen at short, medium, long, and extreme ranges. But you have to measure range differently than you would for ground units. So pay attention to that if you're going to try it out. Otherwise, you've got a 2-inch swath along your flight path for short range, and then you got a little bit for medium range. I think it's like 6 inches, and then other things happen from there as farther you get out. Something I failed to mention in the earlier segments was that we got all the information either from the book or from the errata that is posted online. If you don't know where to get that, you can just type into Google Battletech Alpha Strike errata. The current version is 2.3. I was able to pull it up on Google and then download it via Dropbox and as a PDF on my phone. So pretty simple. So there you have it, game fans. Hopefully I didn't confuse too many of you with all the rambling I did at the end of this video. The quality and preparedness of the next couple of videos should be better. I'm starting to learn how this thing works, and we're getting to learn Alpha Strike a lot better, a lot faster, more consistently, knowing how to ask the right questions and figure out what we need to be able to play this game well and still have fun. So, game on, game fans.